So here we are with a C major, A minor, pentatonic spine again. Spine because it goes right down the middle of the neck. It's like the nerve center of the entire neck. Once we got this down, we'll want to connect it to some of the other archetypal shapes or grips or note sets that we have access to through the pentatonic spine. Like, for instance, the first shape that everyone learns, the pentatonic, one of the 5 basic pentatonic shapes that let you play in one position, is right here. So what you'll notice though is that the entire shape is made up out of these shapes here. So if we have the lower splice here and we put it over here, let's do that. There's the octave of that. Here's the octave of this. And now we need a blue and orange ball. Orange and blue. There we go. So this shape here has been replicated here. And then here we'll want this shape here, the long box. That's going to be purple, yellow, and red, blue. And that's the familiar box that everybody knows. If I remove these two here, a little bit clearer, you can see it. All right, take these two away as well. Look at that. There's that box with that line that John Mayer calls the equator, because it's the only place in the pentatonic set of shapes where you have every note in one fret highlighted. Everywhere else there's some sort of curvy thing going on. But there's only 5 of these curvy lines that you got to remember, and one of them is the straight line, and that's what you get on this first shape here. First, for no other reason than it seems to be the one that most people learn first. But where do I want to put this? I want to put this there. I want to put this here. I want to put this. Oh. What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? Nothing. This is all exactly as it should be. Yeah. So now you can speed up and down the spine or stay in one position, but you're always playing the same set of notes. Not only are you playing the same set of notes, you're playing the same set of 4 shape, 4 note shapes. So this one here is, of course, the lower splice. This one here is, of course, the low box. This one here is, of course, the high box. This one here doesn't have a match here in shape, but it does have a match in color. Yellow, red, orange, purple. Yellow, red, orange, purple. We have to remember that the notes on the second string always have to be pushed up 1 in order to get the same relationship as any other string set. So this is the same as that. In fact, here is the only time that you have the splice. Every other time you have notes in the same fret. On this string, this set of notes here, on these two strings, strings 2 and 3, this is the splice. It doesn't look like a splice at all. All the other lines are angles. So this is the same as this. Okay, that's the long box. This is the upper splice. This is the high box. This is the low box. This is the lower splice. Any one of these 5 shapes, there's going to be 4 more shapes, 2 on either side of that. And then that gives you the complete imposition, so you can play up and down this way or up and down this way. But the way to think of this spine too is that each one of these shapes becomes the center point of one of these shapes. So whenever I see a high box on the spine, I immediately think, oh, that's the waist, W-A-I-S-T, of the house. I call this shape the house. I don't number my shapes because the numbers get confusing. You can't remember which. It's a circular thing, so which one is one? I don't know. So, but to me, this for some reason, maybe because it's the first shape that you learn, or because of the straight walls. To me, this has always been a house, right? And this is the roof of the house. This is the porch of the house. This is a penthouse or something up here. So this is the house, and then this becomes the waist of the next shape. It comes in here, and then this becomes the waist of the next shape, and then this becomes the waist of the next shape, which is the same shape as this. So that means you will at any point be able to play up and down in one position, but use that central spine to be able to move quickly from any one of these positions to any of the other positions. The other really cool thing is that you can start to play in 4-note scales. The pentatonic scale is a 5-note scale, but each one of these shapes is a 4-note scale in itself, and it's always going to be missing 1 note of the pentatonic scale. And anytime you do that, anytime you remove a color from a color palette, it creates a different mood. So let's look at this this high part here. The long box is repeated here, but it's also repeated here. So we'll get our C and where are my G notes here? Oh, here we go. Right, there's the G. Here's the C. See that? These are the same. And now we're going to get this and this. We have the open A string and the open E string. So we have E and A, E and A, E and A. Right? But importantly, we have the long box right here, the long box right here, box right here. So it makes it very easy to play from here to here to here to here, and then repeat the same thing from here to here to here, but it's now an octave higher, and then to go from here to here to here to here, and it's now yet another octave higher. So you're covering 3 octaves with a reliable pattern. So this is E, G, that A, this C. Now the same sounds again an octave higher. This E, this G, this A, this C. Now the same sounds an octave higher. This E, this G, this A, this C. I'm just playing these 4 notes and these 4 notes and these 4 notes. So 12 notes, 4 different names, but 12 different sounds. Because let's face it, this does not sound the same as this, does not sound the same as this, even though they're all C's. That's a C, that's a C, and that's a C. Those are the 3 different sounds. So there are 12 different notes here, but they're only from 4 families. That's a way to think of it. Let's just jam on those 12 notes. Right? It's a cool sound that's created, and you can do that with that. Now you can go on to the next one. You've got the high box, and obviously you're going to have a blue and orange ball here. And now you can practice this sound here, where you have purple, blue, yellow, orange. Purple, blue, yellow, orange. The next set. Purple, blue, yellow, orange. The next set. Notice how this set is pushed forward compared to here, right? Here they're on top of each other. But here, this whole set had to be pushed forward because we went through the warp. But the shape is the same, right? So once again, from here, purple, blue, yellow, orange, purple, blue, yellow, orange, purple, blue, that set of colors is very different from the set of colors we just played before, right? Before we were playing the long box. That's the long box. Now we're going to play the high box. No, wrong. High box. Long box. The high box. High box, high box, long box, high box. See, so you get a different sound just by switching to a different set of 4 notes from the pentatonic. Each one has a different flavor. And we can see that we can always practice it in 3 octaves. Let's just finish this off now. Since we have the long box in 3 octaves, we now have the high box in 3 octaves. Next comes the low splice. There we go. We need another yellow and red ball here to show yellow is C, red is E. Now we have 3 octaves of the low splice. Now we want to get 3 octaves of the high splice, so we need to finish this off. What do we need for the high splice? We need an orange, purple ball right here. Orange and purple ball right here. And we're gonna need the same thing here, orange and purple ball. Orange and purple ball. And then if we want to keep going, we're going to need the low box. It's a short box and it's below the next long box. So we're going to need a red and blue ball. An E and an A. And we already have that here, but to go up any higher, we haven't got enough space, so we come over here. This is going to have to go back an octave. So that's an orange and purple ball. Where are my orange and purple balls? Okay. Oh God. Orange and purple. And then, where are we here? We are finishing off another long box. Purple and yellow. Let's stick a yellow and red ball in here, and then the system is complete. All right. So here's the shape that everyone learns first. Then if you keep this wall and attach this wall, then you have another shape here. I call that wall, that shape, the stomach. Because the waist of the stomach is the long box. It bulges out like that, so that's the stomach. So the stomach and the house are connected through this wall here. This could be one of the walls of the stomach, one of the walls of the house. There is a connection between the stomach and the house in a sort of deep psychological way. So to me, for some reason, it makes sense. And something went wrong here. Oh, this one should be over here. There. Okay. Don't know what happened. But then when we go from the house, this, when you try to play here, your fingers feel all squirrely and everything. So I ended up calling this shape here the serpent. Then the next shape, I see 2 lines that are almost complete. 5 here, 5 here. This one's missing that one, and it gets pushed over here. This one's missing this one, gets pushed over here. Overall, to me, this looks like a cross, so I call this the cross. Then on the other side of the cross, we get more of this wiggly kind of playing. Feels very wiggly in here. It was a lot like the serpent. So I called it the snake. So we get the snake and the serpent on either side of the cross. Very cool. And if you're in your house and you want to go this way, you got to go through the serpent to the cross. Then you get to the snake, which is over here again. See, that's the same thing here. This is the snake. This is the snake. And from the snake into the stomach. And then you can get back into the house. If you go backwards, go from the house through the stomach into the snake, from the snake into the cross, from the cross to the serpent, back to the house. But all of these shapes are made of the simple shapes that you find in the spine. And you can actually categorize these 5 different shapes by their waist. So the low box is the waist of the snake. The high splice is the waist of the cross. The low splice is the waist of the serpent. The high box is the waist of the house. The long box is the waist of the stomach. And the low box is again the waist of the snake, the waist of the snake, the waist of the snake.